but I can't help falling. Today I'm going to teach you how to play Can't Help Falling in Love. This is that classic beloved song that was recorded by Elvis Presley and many, many others, and is a relatively easy song to play. It doesn't have a ton of chords, has a really simple accompaniment strategy that you can add to as your skill level allows. If this is what you're keen for today, stick around. I'm Brenda Earl-Stokes. I'm the owner and creator of Piano and Voice with Brenda. I make creative and practical resources for singers, pianists, and music educators to help you level up and become a more versatile musician. Can't Help Falling in Love, as you may know, was first featured in the 1961 film Blue Hawaii, and it's been recorded by a million different artists, UB40, a bunch of these contemporary singers who are on American Idol and programs like that. The thing you might not know is the melody is actually based on Plaisir d'amour, a popular French love song that was composed in 1784. Fun fact. So without further ado, let's get into studio mode, and I'm going to teach you the chords. So our first step is going to be to go through and work through the chords. And I should tell you before we go any further is that I have a free printable of the lyrics and chords that I suggest you take a moment and download it. It's totally free. You can get it here, pianoandvoicewithbrenda.com/can'thelpfallinginlove. And there you'll be able to download the lyrics and chords, so it'll make it easier for you to learn. Totally free. So we're going to go through first and just play through all of the chords. The first thing to know about this song is that we're in the key of D. And the key of D, as I'm smushing all of the notes of the D scale down, has an F sharp and a C sharp in it. And so I suggest you take a moment and either just push down all the notes so you can kind of get a look at what this looks like on the piano, or if you're able to, just play the scale a couple of times, because all of the chords that we're playing today are coming directly from the scale, pretty much, give or take. So we're going to play all the chords in root position at first, and then we're going to level up as we go. So the first chord is a D major chord, and then the second chord is F sharp minor, okay? And then we're going to go on to B minor, so that's B, D, F sharp. And then the bass note is going to go down to A. So it's B minor with an A in the bass, right? And this is here because we're going to be voice leading our way down to G. And then we're going to go to D. And then we're going to go to A. 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go to G, A, B minor, then E minor, and then D, and then A, and then D, just like that. And when you look at the printable, this will all be there in front of you. So we're going to go, wise men say, then B minor over A with an A in the bass. Only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Great. Shall I stay with an over an A in the bass? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Beautiful. So those are the A sections. This song follows an AABA form, which is typical of, more Great American Songbook kind of songs, Rodgers and Hammerstein. That's why it has that kind of old-fashioned feel to it. So we're going to go into the B section now, because this song doesn't really have a chorus. It has this B section. And it goes from F sharp minor, and then it goes to C sharp 7. And so it's C sharp, this should say E sharp, but it's fine that it says F, G sharp, and B. That's a C sharp 7 chord. So it's the same as the triad with a flat 7 on the top. So this is a whole step lower than the root on the top. And then it does that again, F sharp minor to C sharp 7. Then it does it a third time, F sharp minor to C sharp 7. Yep. And then it goes F sharp minor, then to B7. So this is a B major triad. This should say D sharp, F sharp, and A. Remember the dominant 7th chord, the 7th is a whole step lower than the root. And then we're going to play an E minor chord and an A7 chord. And remember that dominant 7th shape, it has the major triad with the 7th that's a whole step down from the root of the chord on the top. So it goes, like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. See that? Right? So let's do that one more time. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Then we're at the last A section, which is the same as what we played before. Take my hand, B minor over A. Take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. And that's the whole song. Those are all the chords for the whole song. Very, very simple, relatively speaking. And all you are going to do right now is play them through in root position. And I love doing this as a starting point. It simplifies things so you can just kind of get through the song and start singing as soon as you possibly can. Once you've got the chords in your fingers, start to sing, because that's going to be much harder to add in later as we get into the accompaniment strategy. And so now we are going to get into the accompaniment strategy. But before that, I want to just break down for you for a second what the actual groove of this song is. And actually, it's a different time signature than maybe you're used to playing. Let me show you. So this song has this groove, da 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 da, that kind of rolling sound that goes through it. And there's two different ways that you can count this. Let me show you. So as you can see here, these two things look very, very similar, don't they? And they actually sound very similar. They sound the same. And so we can think about Can't Help Falling in Love with You being in 12/8 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that means there's 12 eighth notes in the bar. Or we've got groups of triplets in 4/4 time, and we would count it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you can think of it either way. It doesn't really make a difference to the piece, but I thought it was important for you to understand that that's how we can look at this. Now, as we break this down, I'm going to show you two different accompaniment strategies that you can fiddle around with. The first one that we're going to use is you're actually going to take the triad and you're going to double the root on top. Okay, so I'm playing a 4-note chord that is the triad with the root doubled on the top. And all you're going to do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, all I'm doing is I'm just going up and coming back down. And then I'm going to do the same thing with F sharp minor. And you see, that's all the beats we need because it's 2 beats of D, 1 and 2 and then we go to F sharp minor, 3 and 4 and all I'm doing is taking this chord and I'm playing it broken. and then B minor, and then B minor over A. You see how I'm doing that? And then G, and then back to D, and then A. And that's the whole bar, right? So I have to play that twice. G, A, B minor, E minor. Good. Now the next chord is a D chord, but with an A in the bass. And so far, you've noticed my left hand is just playing the root of each chord, just one single note. And so for this D here, we're going to be playing an A in the bass because they like to do this pedal point on this song. So we're taking the A and we're playing a D triad in the right hand. And then the A triad. And then back to the D. It's twice. Let me show that to you again. B minor. B minor over A, G, D, A, a whole bar of A, G, A, B minor, then E minor. Then we have that D over A here, remember? And then A, and then D. Right? So we're doing this in root position. If you're fancy yourself a little bit of a piano ninja, you can absolutely fiddle around with, doing different inversions if there's something that's really floating your boat there. You've got my full permission to do so. So now we're going to go through and we're going to sing and play. And I'm going to keep playing it in root position. I like to show people root position a lot because people think you have to do all of this stuff for it to sound fancy or, oh, there's all these inversions. Yes, you can do inversions if you want, but listen to how beautiful and simple it sounds if you're just playing it, straight up with just root position. All right. So the first two chords of the song, it goes D to A. This is the intro, D to A. Wise men say only fools rush in, but if I can't help falling in love with you. See how I did that? Now we can do the exact same thing for the entire B section. Like a river flows. Now, the only thing that's going to be different is with any of these seventh chords, instead of going up to the root and down, you're going to go up to the seventh. 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1, right? Because then we can make sure we're incorporating all of the notes of the chord. So F sharp minor 7, C sharp 7. We do that 3 times. F sharp minor, B7, and then E minor, A7. Now, while you're doing this, if you're not used to playing a lot of these big 4-note chords, it's really, really important that you not overstretch your hand. You'll notice that I'm not holding my hand open. I'm keeping my hand relaxed. And I'm keeping my hand kind of close. So I'm rolling my wrist around rather than holding my hand out and stretching it. So you can see I'm keeping my hand very relaxed and not keeping it held open. If you're not used to playing these chords, I would say do it a little bit at a time. You don't want to make your hand too tired. So let's sing and play through the B section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. See how I did that? So that was one option of things that you could do for this song. If you want to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit and make it a little bit more full in the left hand, then you're welcome to play the root in the fifth together. So I'm playing the root of the chord and the fifth of the chord. You can do that for any of the chords. This is B minor. Now, when you've got the B minor over A, what you're going to do is just take the B and turn it into an A, because the A is there as like a passing note. See how I did that? And then the G, the root in the fifth. Yep. And then the A, the root in the fifth. So listen to what that sounds like. You hear how that sounds a little fuller? So you could start the song off a little more delicately by playing just the root in the left hand. And then later on in the song, you could play the root in the fifth, right? That's an option that you have. One other way that I like to play this is, another kind of typical way that you would hear a song in 12/8 or 4/4 with this triplet groove. So what I'm doing is I'm pulsing all of the subdivided, either if you're thinking of them as triplets in 4/4 or the groups of 3 eighth notes, however you want to think of them. So you could go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and you'll notice I'm keeping it quite light, right? My left hand is just playing bass notes, single bass notes, and I use a little pedal to flesh it out a little bit. This is typical of what you'd hear in like Oh Darlin' by the Beatles, Blueberry Hill, other songs that have that kind of sound. So let's hear how that sounds. Wise men say only fools rush in. And I can drop the bass note down the octave if I want. So you can see there's a few things at play here. And as somebody who has done so many piano bar gigs, it's like ridiculous how many times I've accompanied myself singing in a solo setting. You want to have a couple of different things at play to kind of keep the song moving, to keep it interesting. So I'm going to do a full sing and play through of the entire piece. And I'm going to show you a couple of these different sounds in play. Now, what you can do is watch the video a bunch of times if you want to kind of see very specifically what I'm doing, but I'm mostly going to be using all of the techniques that I've taught you to this point. So without further ado, time to sing and play. Here's the intro. It just goes from D to A to D to A. Wise men say only fools rush in. not so pretty. I mean, very beautiful, simple, root position. I didn't play any inversions throughout this whole piece, and you can just hear what a satisfying arrangement that is. Make sure you take it step by step. Always learn the chords first and start singing along with the chords, and then add the accompaniment strategy later. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If so, make sure you leave me a great big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. These are things that help little creators like me to be able to grow and to be able to serve more people and continue to offer such great resources here on YouTube. If you want to know more about me, you should check out my website, pianoandvoicewithbrenda.com. There you'll find a boatload of really terrific resources, and you can learn about how to work with me. Not only do I offer private lessons all over the world via Zoom, but I also have a really incredible membership called The Versatile Musician. And this is the hub for all of my work. You only see a teeny tiny bit of it on YouTube. There I have dozens and dozens of song tutorials with full, complete printables with all of the material notated. Plus, I have courses designed to help you feel more confident at the piano, to work on your singing skills, to learn improvisation, to learn how to do your own arrangements, and more. You should definitely check it out at theversatilemusician.com. Thank you so much for watching. Happy practicing, and I'll see you next time.